Today's video will dive into quite a weird group of people called Horrorcows. While lolcows are individuals who are often exploited for laughs and internet entertainment, Horrorcows are a bit different and much more extreme. Their personalities and behaviors often include things that can be quite shocking, disturbing or offensive. Therefore, viewer discretion is strongly advised. This custom iceberg chart will guide you to the first layer of this chart. The deeper we dive in, the more extreme examples will show up. As we navigate through this iceberg, we will explore their history, actions and controversies, so you can get a good grasp of who they are and why are they featured on this list. That's everything you need to know, and I don't wanna bother you any longer. So thank you for tuning in and let's dive in.
I'm 11.
You're 11? Good, now I'm away from that annoying fuck of a kid who I would have slapped in real fucking life if they talked to me like that. I would have fucking him slapped that shit out of that.
The story of DarkSydePhil is an intriguing tale about a streamer whose self-entitlement and provocations led him to be known as the King of Hate. Over the years he received constant trolling and negative backlash. He is known for numerous controversial incidents and outbursts over the years.
This is insanity! I'm done. This is over. I'm done. I'm not redoing it. I'm done. She's gonna heal him. I'm done. I'm done. It's over. It's over. Goodbye.
But besides that, Phil is best known for his live commentary videos while playing games. DarkSydePhil began his career in 2008 on his original channel. He started his online career with a playthrough of Fallout 3, a post-apocalyptic RPG game by 𝙀𝙭𝙧𝙩.
Thanks for doing this for me. Is this it, or has the real party started yet? That's a great answer. I'm using it.
But what really caught the eye of the public was his playthrough of Heavy Rain.
I guess I better get up. I got a lot to do today. Gotta call my mom. I gotta take out the trash. Oh, I'm going back to sleep. I'm tired. Alright, I'll get up.
But his popularity would also grow with the playthroughs of games such as Call of Duty and the Mass Effect games. His obsession with gaming led him that in the summer of 2010, Phil lost his normal job as a result and partnered with Machinima in the fall of 2010, thus making him a full-time YouTuber.
The fans over there to explain, I think it's gonna be good. So I'm calling upon the hate army. I rarely do this, but I need you guys definitely to help us out with this endeavor. We want the trailer to do well. We want the series to do well on Machinima, and it's gonna take your help.
His goal was clear, but his future was not so. Also, we can consider him as one of the OGs, I guess. But Phil goes way back with his gaming career, as in the 90s he developed a special love for Capcom games, especially Street Fighter. This love was so hard that he even participated in tournaments all over the country, when gaming was still a niche hobby to have and was associated with nerds. Something he is quite well known now, but was also back then, was to taunt and offend his enemies.
Where am I playing? You still haven't told me. Jesus Christ, I treat you like you're a rookie.
Also, he wasn't a very good player, mostly losing with the occasional win here and there, and that's the reason why many people didn't like to play with him. But in recent times when Phil played games, he would often ignore very important gameplay mechanics, such as seen in his playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 and Black Mesa. In Metal Gear Solid 2 he struggled to use health rations and stealth techniques.
Should go grab these rations, you know, I don't understand how to eat. How do I eat the rations? This is just weapon changes. Oh, should we get I don't know how to use my rations. I have no idea.
He blamed a crouch jump issue on a game bug rather than his own mistake. I mean, he made every game he played unnecessarily hard because of this. And the result was that he would die more often than he normally should, which led to rage and calling the developers not so nice names and slurs.
Punch the switch. How do you punch the fucking switch? I'm so tired of this shit. Kojima's a fucking cocksucker. Oh my god! Oh my god! I thought that I was done.
People would often make fun of him because of this, and Phil wasn't happy about this. In April of 2010, Phil playthroughs of Splinter Cell conviction was interrupted when he received a fake copyright strike from a troll. This incident led to creation of multiple YouTube accounts, including DSP Gaming, which remains his main channel today.
Do this childish shit on YouTube. If you thought it was funny to dox me, if you thought it was the DDoS attacks were funny, you almost got me killed. You. Yes, you. You're responsible. And if you are a human and you have morality in you, you should understand that. You contributed to it. Because no one thought of me in a negative light until that shit started. No one. People understood it was off-color jokes. It was just Phil trying to be funny. And, you know, I've told you, I'm an imperfect human. I'm certainly not perfect. There have been times when I made mistakes. That doesn't mean that people should die. So, fuck you.
To have a fear of trolls is always good. Also, people started to making a series called "This is how you not play," insert any game name here, from Witcher to Dark Souls, and the videos were mostly about Phil. And those things would get really on his nerves.
You know, that's the real attitude to have when you're in life, when you're facing overwhelming adversity against you. Overwhelming amounts of unfair treatment, hate, slander. The best way is to just do your thing positively. Don't address it, because the more you address it, it just moves the goalpost and it just becomes worse and worse. Because that's what happened. Originally, it used to be like, oh, this is how you don't play? Fuck people. They're stealing my content. They're taking it on. You know, I would rage and do videos about it. And what would happen? It would just make it worse. It would just make it worse and worse and worse and worse, right? So there's no reason to waste time on it anymore. That's why you don't ever hear me address it anymore. If we see a bullshit, slanderous meme on the stream, you're fucking out of here, and we just continue on with the positive content.
Phil's streams are known for his offensive language and outbursts, often blaming game developers, other players, or the game themselves for his failure, which can be considered a quite narcissistic thing to do. I mean, he is perfect, and it wasn't his fault that he wasn't good at the game. But the most popular stream was streamed on May 1st, 2016, when Phil was preparing for a live stream. Because the game he wanted to play was quite hard and things can get a bit heated up during the streams, he decided to release some pressure beforehand. Phil left his camera on and the viewers had a sight to see. He was playing with his, let's say, Xbox dongle in front of all of his audience with his head held up high. And it was even mentioned by Keemstar on Drama Alert.
Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on.
Soon, Photoshop memes were made with his face from that event. This moment quickly spread across the internet, becoming a widely circulated meme and bringing a significant amount of negative attention to Phil. The incident not only embarrassed Phil, but also reinforced his image as a controversial figure within the streaming community. Over the years, Phil would also stream on different platforms, including Blip.tv, but his career on Blip was cut short, because in 2010 he was banned for anti-Semitic remarks that he made during a Dead Space 2 playthrough.
You've let the Jews overrun space, and now look at this. Their greed has had the artifact turn everyone into necromorphs. So now I, the last remaining, must exterminate them.
He is definitely considered as a toxic guy, and many people on YouTube have become very critical of Phil. Mostly because of his action and personalities, he has been called a hypocrite, liar, man-child, among many other names. And please be aware that you don't set any hates towards him, as this video is for educational purposes only. You know how this goes. He often created videos about all the criticism about him, which he just brushed off as jealous haters and trolls. He laughs at people's supposed immaturity when they challenge his statements. He also brands anyone who finds anything of him controversial as a drama queen. So I guess I'm a drama queen now. Ain't that a cute nickname?
Well, I don't want to hear people now saying, oh, Phil's ungrateful because he got a bunch of super chats today and he's saying that he still needs help. Fuck you. No, really, again, fuck you. Because you know what I'm asking for. Help now. To pay for the games coming up now. To pay my bills coming up now. Not things in December. Things now.
You're not helping by coming on this stream and being a to me and acting like I'm being ungrateful because someone's doing a super chat. No, I'm very grateful. The super chats help, but they don't help me now.
Many have taken issues with Phil's style of commentary, because he loves to make burps and snort sounds. Well, yes and no. Well, I think that's more about how he likes to make toilet humor jokes and being overdramatic. Plus, having sex remarks about female characters isn't helping at all. Again, I'm a bit limited here, so I can't really tell you all the things he's done or said, but Phil is so great that he actually made a compilation of his most racist outbursts, which is really generous of him. People would do everything to hide their not so proudest moments, but Phil doesn't feel any shame. Also, have you played the Telltale's Walking Dead? This highly immersive story-driven game is quite good, and do yourself a favor if you didn't play it and play it. Now, during his playthrough of The Walking Dead Season 2, while playing Clementine, who was a young child who was about to get her arm stitched, Phil thought it would be funny to make sexual noises while she screamed in pain.
Oh! 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 Ah!
Which shows you his type of humor. As a YouTuber who started in the gaming corner of the platform, I needed to point that out. But besides his vulgar, edgy style, he would also frequently delete his videos and ban users if they say something he didn't like.
Dude, Ninstar Rune, you could go fuck yourself and never come back. And I mean that. Don't ever ask to come back, because you're not the kind of person I want watching the stream. I can make do without Ninstar Rune being a 50-bit bitch and derailing my streams with negativity, nonsense, and stupid shit. We're all trying to have a good time on the stream, and we gotta be derailed by an idiot. Go fuck yourself, don't ever come back. Alright? That simple.
To be honest, it's quite hard to boil down everything this guy said and did in the last 15 or 20 years he was online. But what is obvious is that Phil suffers from some type of narcissistic personality disorder, as he never admits to his mistakes and blames everyone and everything else for his own problems. Do you remember when I said he was banned from Blip for his remarks about the Jews? He immediately claimed that the report was false and that the person who reported him did it out of jealousy because of his popularity. Yeah, sure buddy, whatever I guess.
Phil is far from the only 28-year-old that has found themselves laid off from their jobs and in financial straits, but instead of sucking up his pride and taking a crappy job and moving back in with his parents, he's decided to panhandle his fan base. The relationship that DSP has with the fans is now totally based on money, and I fail to see how such a situation can end any way but badly. Save your pennies for your personal rainy days ahead and force Phil to be accountable for himself. Holy shit. This guy fucking so jealous of my popularity and the fact that for 4 or 5 months now, yeah, I've been able to turn this into a business per se and been able to support myself, that he is me falsely to websites to try to get me banned and so I have to stop doing this for a living. Wow, you are a dead.
Well, almost any criticism since then was simply brushed off, saying that people are jealous. He would also often e-bag online by hiding his true intentions.
Hello everybody, it's DarkSydePhil. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, stupid bills, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis, tip me, so I could catch up on back taxes.
In January of 2020, Phil filed for bankruptcy to avoid paying $500,000 debt. In a nutshell, Phil generally believes that he is a good person who has never done anything wrong or hurt anyone and considers himself as a victim of unfair hate. He also thinks he was targeted without valid reasons.
Who likes to illegally restream my fucking streams and has an army of trolls who are the only reason why he has any notoriety is because he copies my shit, and he eggs his trolls on to do negative like this, to come to my stream and to basically make fun of my girlfriend and do nasty shit. It's his fault that this kind of stuff happens.
However, a closer examination reveals a different reality. He often exhibits manipulative behavior, bullying and abusive behavior towards strangers, fans, friends and family to gain money. He shamelessly manipulates people and will say or do anything to achieve his goals, showing little regard for those he harms in the process. At least it seems so. Perhaps Phil is a weak entry for a Horrorcow, But again, this is only the first entry on this layer.
I don't have money to do it. 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 It was, you know, yeah, I would.
To be doing the 100 layers of foam challenge as suggested to me by my friend Shane Dawson on Twitter.
I don't know why I subject myself to things like this. Sometimes I find quite interesting stories, and many times they are very disturbing, like the Danny Phantom case, which completely blew me away. The insight Danny gave us in his life was quite interesting, yet unsettling. And then an entry like Trish lands on my table and suddenly my mouse starts to look like a weapon I want to use against myself to relieve me of the pain by looking at her content. But that's why she's the perfect fit for this list. I mean, people on change.org petitioned to remove Trisha from the internet for good.
I don't mean this to be like racist, but okay, well, it's gonna come out racist anyways, but there's just these 6 really scary looking guys, and I think they'd be scary whether they were white or...
Again, I know many horror cows are people with more disturbing backgrounds, but again, we are just at the tip of the iceberg. And I think Trisha deserves a place here. Trisha is not only a YouTuber but also a rapper, actress, scammer, and annoying among many other things.
Yeah, we used metal straws instead of plastic straws for the turtles, but you saw that the turtles still survive, so let's stop eating animals.
Yesterday.
Oh, chicken fingers make me horny.
Who is Trisha? Well, if you know We Made You by Eminem, she was the chick who portrayed the obese Jessica Simpson. But besides that, she is quite a rabbit hole I wasn't prepared to get into. But here we are. Now for real, who is Trisha Paytas?
Woke up this morning feeling like a chicken nugget.
Well, hard to tell, as her YouTube channel is quite interesting and I can't get the grasp of how she managed to get so much spotlight over the years. She is a person who was continually caught lying and scamming people.
Well, what if it was so bad?
Hitler can't be all bad if he had this big following.
So it's really hard to keep track of who she is. But one thing we know for sure is that Trisha is famous. I think she managed to be around the right people at the right time. This is the only explanation. Well, and we can avoid talking about her personality and the aura she projects.
Oh my gosh, help me, help me, help me, help me. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
But let's talk some more about her. Her YouTube channel consists of wide variety of content, including lifestyle-oriented vlogs, music videos, and mukbangs.
Always just been attracted to guys, but not straight guys. I've always been attracted to gay guys. So that's why I've always thought maybe I'm a man.
And having the occasional mental breakdown on the kitchen floor while eating. Well, this type of content managed to get 5 million subscribers. With over a decade of being a public figure, you know it's hard to go through everything she did, but we can still touch upon the more bizarre outbursts.
She eats, she gets lipo, she's fat, she's gross, she's skinny, she's a bad influence, she's problematic, yada 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 yada. I have no identity.
Trisha was raised in Riverside, California with a childhood that was everything but not good. From an early age, she didn't have a father figure and her mother remarried 4 times. And I found out that she worked as a stripper when she was only 14 and eventually spiraled into prostitution, BDSM and drugs. Which is just terrible and I don't have any other words for that. At the age of 15, Trisha moved back to California and was enrolled in a Catholic online school program. She returned to Illinois to live with her mother at the age of 16 and attending the high school there. But if something was clear in her life, is that she wanted to be famous, a celebrity, a star, let's say. After moving to LA, she started to pursue her acting career. And on the side she was working as a stripper and escort just to support herself, as her then stepdad threw her out, which led that she spiraled down even harder into drugs and started to have mental problems. I mean, it's no wonder if you really think about it. Over the years, she was featured on various television shows.
Sex will give you STDs, friendships are fake, Relationships will cheat on you. Family will disown you. Pizza? That's forever.
And even attempting and failing to break the fastest talker record on Guinness World Records Unleashed with 710 words in 55 seconds. I don't know if this is relevant to you, but I wanted to mention as the things that would come out her mouth are quite questionable. Trisha made a number of trolling videos, which she told Business Insider was a way to dumb herself down in order to get more attention and views.
A personal anecdote.
Can we just also say we don't actually need gravity? Like, we actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
Invented by who?
Sir Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton created gravity?
Who created gravity, babe? Dan?
What do you mean we don't need gravity? I'm curious about that
We just
statement.
don't need it.
But like, what do you mean?
The moon doesn't have gravity.
It does.
For example, this involved a video claiming that dogs do not have brains. If this was trolling is quite a mystery. In addition to regularly uploading content to her channels, Trisha has also appeared in films and television programs. As of February 22, Trisha has also published 11 books. But she's also a singer, and in November of 2017, her first single, a cover of 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙚𝙧𝙍 Santa Baby, which was released on December 10. This was followed by several other songs produced by Pete Mills, and the cover reached number 87 on the iTunes Holiday Music Chart, and the music video released on December 12 gained over 200,000 views on the first day. She's definitely a hustler and a player who knows how to use her audience to her advantage to succeed in other branches of the industry.
Well, what if it's so bad?
Can't be all bad if he had this big following.
I don't believe that people can be canceled. You have to go away to be canceled. But, you know, I've definitely trolled for money.
Yeah.
I definitely have said, like, whatever.
Her YouTube career started in 2007 and she is mostly known, well, hard to say, but let's say the most prominent thing is that she was involved in many dramas over the years besides the vlog and mukbang videos.
I'm the new... Who are we still friends with? Nobody? No one. Ask everybody.
And I don't wanna get in all the drama she caused as there are so many. And I don't feel this is the point of this video. I found out that she had a beef with Jeffree Star, David Dobrik, Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, Jason Nash, Shane Dawson, Ethan Klein, among many others. It's completely nuts, and there isn't any point to open that can of worms. So as we established, we saw that she was like everywhere, and trust me, I skipped a great deal where she was featured. Her downward spiral is well documented on the internet. She is also very culture insensitive, but that's her thing, I guess, to be noisy and loud to attract people's attention. Like the time she wanted to convert into the Jewish religion, but somehow there was more stuff said and done to offend people than anything else. And if we consider how she praised a infamous German leader of not being such a bad guy, shows how she's really just talking trash, just to offend people so they can start talk about her. Now we need to take a look at her podcast, which was made in collaboration with Ethan Klein from H3, Frenemies.
H3 is a hypocrite because he said that one is tasteless. That one is not good. That's not a good take.
Well,
I've already said the N-word. Live.
Let's not invite
You
anyone.
can't touch me.
It was a big deal because it outperformed Ethan's show, mostly because his show was then on a decline. The podcast was cringe to say at least. Ethan is that weird guy I'm not so fond of, and the thought of Trisha makes my dinner go up every time I hear her speak. That's my 2 cents. Just not my cup of tea.
Gay, homosexual, dated gay.
Gay man. And do you think what would a gay man see in you?
I've dated a gay man for a year and a half.
But like, so what does he get out of dating you? Because you don't. I mean, you look like a female and you don't have a penis, so presumably.
It's just male. It's just the male energy.
It makes me think that you would want to You would want to look more like a male.
No. I like the aesthetic of a woman.
You identify as a man.
I do identify as a man.
Why are you dressed as a female?
It's like my character. It's my job. It's like a drag queen. Like men dress as drag because I appreciate
You're
the art and the
drag.
aesthetic.
You're a man in drag.
It's how I look at it. It's like my job, right? Like I show
But you've always looked like that.
But the public like Ethan's quite cynical style combined with Trisha's over-the-top style and reactions. And I also love how Trisha pressed Ethan to get more money on a live stream, which is just the perfect timing to make demands about your paycheck. By the way, Ethan was featured on the worst YouTubers iceberg chart if you wanna take a deeper look into his life.
We have to end it now, like really.
What did I do?
Trisha is quite a unique character, I don't know what to say else. She was numerous times caught making mockeries of gender identities and mental disorders, but also making quite offensive videos and using the N-word, so it's like the full program with her.
For the dogs, for the cats, for the cows, we milk and we milk and we milk and they say ow!
She uses lies and her over-the-top persona to gain attention and popularity, and walk on a very thin line where she tries to defend and call out bad people while doing the exact same thing to gain views. She teased people she got engaged just to relieve it was a cardboard Brad Pitt.
My boyfriend, here he is. He's a little shy, but we've been together now for 6 months.
Then she accused her boyfriend of being gay, but she's also into gay. She also identifies as a fried chicken. Why? Well, because she feels fried inside, and there is so much more here. But I don't wanna waste any more of my breath on her. She is definitely a troll and her life is a fever dream. Who managed to capitalize on every aspect she is, as she accumulated millions of dollars over the years. But the worst part I think is how she also spreads some weird and false diet tips which are quite dangerous, because one day she eats 10 calories in a day and the next one she is fasting on water for 10 days. So she isn't only harming herself but also others, and if you have such a large following on social media, you do have to have a sense for the people who are following you. There are some people who will take everything you say for granted without questioning it, and this can result quite badly, especially if someone is maybe a kid who is still developing. Besides that, she would also promote many weird products which are quite sketchy, and she's currently earning around $800,000 a month, if I'm correct, from being an internet troll. But that's the world we live in, I guess. So let's go to the next entry.
Sproggle, I'm glad to hear you're still black. And thanks for 2 months of support, man. That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color, or is it not? I don't know.
Boogie is a being or entity that somehow closely resembles the Phil.
Calm down.
No!
As he shares almost the same vices as he does. Almost.
You're the fat! You're the fat! You're the fat!
What is your problem?
How do you keep calling me fat online?
How do they know you're fat?
I don't know how they know I'm fat! God damn it!
We touch upon Boogie in another chart, but I wanna expand on that entry for those who already saw that iceberg, as Boogie, much like Phil, has a very long and documented history online. He is an old school YouTuber who has gotten himself a ton of hate for his bad behavior and Marty complex.
Reddit and Twitter lost their minds. Oh, are you trying to manipulate people into giving you money?
The answer is yes. Give me some money.
He was caught in multiple lies over time, e-begging. His life is just a story about a fall of once a beloved YouTuber to someone who just wants to views and tips so he can make money. Boogie describes his childhood as a sad period in his life, due to dealing with obesity, lack of friends, and suffering verbal and physical abuse from his mother.
I am a fatally flawed broken. I am a fatally flawed broken person. You know, I'm not that different from my mom. I'm not that different from my dad. I've never molested anybody. You know, I didn't beat my kids. I chose not to have kids so I wouldn't do those things.
Boogie started his YouTube career on April 5th, 2006 and has been expanding since then, for better or worse. His first video was a 49 clip titled Playing Dungeons and Dragons, which was a simple video showing Boogie playing the game with his friends. His persona felt somehow simple and relatable. Just a nerdy guy who likes D&D, cards and games. Because of that, he gained quite a fan base, but over time Boogie would have outbursts on his videos.
I think you are the lowest of the low. I think you are the worst of the worst. I think that there are fucking rapists and Nazis out there who, even though they are rapists and fucking Nazis, they are more redeemable than you because at least they're doing something they fucking believe in. They may be pieces of garbage, they may be pieces of shit, harm other people, but at least they believe what they fucking stand for. You stand for nothing. You stand for nothing.
That's why also some people think Boogie's former wife, Des, divorced him due to ongoing behavioral issues.
It was Molly.
It's not a fucking named Molly. It's a goddamn Pokemon named 𝙀𝙧𝙧𝙦. Right over there near the campus. I want to go. Can we please go and get go to the Pokemon Center? God damn it! Get your keys.
I just got home from a 10-hour shift. What do you? Why should I do this for you? What are you gonna do for me?
I'll buy you dinner, okay? I'll buy you dinner.
With what money?
Loan me $20 and I'll buy you dinner and I'll pay you back when my YouTube money comes in.
In response, Boogie created a video featuring his fictional persona Francis having a mental breakdown and blaming Des for his divorce. Although Boogie later claimed that the video was meant to be funny, many viewers were unsure of his intentions. After the divorce, Boogie started to use dating platform to search for a new love, and he would find Lucy Fox, which eventually also ended. Following their breakup, Fox released a video accusing Boogie of manipulation and abuse, including an incident where he verbally abused her and tried to prevent her from finding employment.
Well, if it's not for me, then nobody can have it. How about that?
Don't touch my tree. Are you kidding me? Stop it.
Which basically means that Boogie has taken Foxy captive, sort of. Due to the lack of concrete evidence, Boogie would appear on Drama Alert and said that all the allegations are fake. So take this with a grain of salt.
Ah! Jesus Christ! Look what you did!
Look what I did. Look what
You
you
ruined
did.
watermelon! You ruined
Clean it up.
watermelon!
But this is the story of how the big nerdy giant turned into a dark and mysterious troll.
Treat myself. So yes, if you guys want to help me pay for my Tesla, please go ahead and dig deep. I sure would like a Tesla. Reach down in your pockets and give me $100,000 tonight. Curfew, I'm...
Or we can say Horrorcow. In the 2023 documentary, The Dark Sad Life of Boogie gave us quite an insight on his life, perhaps more than we ever wanted.
And I don't have any Mountain Dew!
Like, I saw some Mountain Lightning earlier.
Where did you hide the Mountain Dew?
Boogie was shown in his most natural and honest form yet. The hard-hitting news was when it was revealed that Boogie spent over $200,000 on ladies of the night. This would also include buying them dinners, luxury items, and taking them on vacations. This happened sometime between 2018 and 2021. He admitted to enjoy the company of the girls and having funny time with attractive women, especially saying he prefers LA teens over Arkansas 8.
The women I dated were pretty, sure, but they were like Arkansas 8s, not LA 10s. With sugaring, I got to fuck some LA 10s, and I think that's cool.
And this is Boogie at his finest. And I feel bad for all the people who donated money to him so he can spend his money in such a way. An anonymous worker mentioned that her time with Boogie inspired her to leave the industry, start a family, and pursue a nursing degree. Now you can only imagine of how much mental damage was Boogie able to do. These revelations led to a widespread criticism of Boogie for his sexist views on women, his extravagant spendings on sex workers, and his sense of entitlement. Especially since the girl in his documentary was nearly 30 years younger than him. The age gap was larger than the actual age of the girl.
I help with the dogs. I get him his water. Like whatever he wants and requests. I just mainly is to take care of.
Many thought Boogie was manipulating her, which is a hard thing to state. Boogie justified his actions by claiming that his status of a YouTuber entitled him to such pleasures. And just like Alex from the previous video, when you feel entitled to do something, you just gotta do it, I guess.
Good luck in 2019. 2018 was really hard. And so am I.
But there are many more things we can touch upon, as he didn't fall from grace just from one incident. Because he's currently unhappy and broke, he's currently living from paycheck to paycheck and from the ad revenue just to survive another month. And he did make a lot of money, but he used it to invest in crypto, where he lost $750,000, plus the hobbies of car collecting, games, and so on.
My health insurance is $800. I have $500 worth of medical bills. I have $500 worth of utilities. I pay for doctor's visits, physical therapies, labs constantly. I still have to pay for the car that I drive. I still have to pay for car insurance. I still have to pay for health insurance. Diablo 4 came out. I had to buy it. Final Fantasy 16 came out. I had to buy it. Tears of the Kingdom came out. I had to buy it. That's $400.
As I mentioned, Boogie in 2019 started to invest in Bitcoin based on advice from his friend 𝘾𝙭𝙧𝙩. Although Boogie later acknowledged it was a poor investment, he expressed confidence that he would still have the sufficient funds even if he retired from YouTube. However, on October 5, 2022, Boogie released a video explaining that he lost most of his money due to the cryptocurrency investments and YouTube demonetizations.
I took the advice, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything. That sucks. That really sucks.
He urged his fans to support him by subscribing, liking, commenting, donating money, using the super chat, or buying his merchandise. This video was heavily criticized by the fans and other YouTubers who saw Boogie's pleas for financial support as begging and was even compared to DarkSydePhil.
You're kidding!
Judge.
Despite all of this, he once again jumped on a train by promoting a crypto thing, which is considered by some as a scam. It feels like he wants to monetize his fans as much as possible. Boogie is quite desperate for any attention. The worst part is that he didn't even pay the loan to buy his $250,000 house, which is just ridiculous considering he lost $750,000 in crypto and $200,000 on girls. Where are your priorities, man? But fake girls are more important than a roof over his head. But to top it all off, he loves very dark humor, which is quite questionable, and loves to use racial slurs as those are just words.
I think as long as he stops tweeting the N-word, he'll be fine.
The N-word is just a word.
And he made a few public statements that left a mark on his reputation.
You can't teach physics to a dog. And if you're someone stupid enough to think I would ever verbally assault somebody...
Sadly, he isn't only not so nice to other people, but also not to himself. If we go back on August 1, 2017, Boogie received a gastric bypass surgery to help with his morbid obesity. The result was that in February of 2019, Boogie managed to drop from 500 pounds to 347. According to Boogie, this is the lowest he weighed since 1992 when he graduated from high school at 380 pounds.
Meat curtains. There's a second one. I have 2 glorious meat curtains. I don't like showing it to people, and people don't like seeing it. So that's why I'm going to die.
Also, he mentioned he replaced all of his teeth because 17 of 19 were infected due to poor maintenance. And there are many more things wrong with his health. And I wanna end this with a certain case that happened sometime in summer of 2020. A YouTuber named Frank Hassel was terminated. Why? Well, he would harass people publicly, Boogie included. On Twitter, he claimed that Boogie was the one that got his account terminated. For the next few months, there was a fight between them. Eventually, Frank would go to Boogie's house and started threatening him to hurt him and even coming to his house. On September 28, 2020, Frank eventually came to Boogie's house and Boogie threatened him with a gun and told him to leave. After not listening, Boogie fired a warning shot at Frank. He left soon after. It's me being European now, but I'm not used to people just pulling up guns.
You're a There's more footage than that. I can't show it to you because of YouTube's terms and services, but I have handed that footage over to the police, and now it's up to the police to decide what happens next. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for firing a warning shot. I don't know if Frank is going to get in trouble. I don't know how this is going to play out.
But I know that's a bit different in the US. The most recent news we have is that Boogie apparently lied about having a cancer, and that's Boogie, I guess. So let's move to the last entry of this layer. Nicholas Perry, aka Nikocado Avocado, began his journey on YouTube as a skinny vegan violinist, and now he's almost a mancubus because all of the machinery he needs to stay alive.
Legends. Nope, because that's for low IQ peasants. You look like someone who would play League of Legends. You look like a Genshin Impact enjoyer. Have you ever played that? No.
Nicocado's stories followed, I would say, with self-harm, abuse and a dose of drama sprinkled with extra cringe. It's a guy you probably saw somewhere on the internet, even if it was just for the memes. Prior to YouTube, Nikocado worked as a freelance violinist in New York. At the age of 21, he had dreams of playing the Broadway pit orchestra. The problem was that it was a very tough and a saturated market to make any success. Sadly, his dreams remained only dreams.
I look like a blueberry. I look like a blueberry.
Nikocado created his first and main YouTube channel on May 27, 2014, and it was a step that changed his life.
There's your video.
His earliest videos involved him eating a very healthy and vegan diet until he had saw how much money is there to make with mukbang videos.
Your boss.
Mukbang YouTubers are individuals who would consume an unholy amount of food in one sitting, sometimes just commenting on the food and sometimes talking about other topics.
In common, we're very beautiful, but the difference between, well, he's basically
skinnier, more attractive, richer, more popular. I mean, where do you want to start? The only thing you have in common with him is maybe that you're human, and I highly doubt that you're human because I think you identify as a hippo.
Get away! Get away! Get away!
So Nikocado would throw out the avocados he had lying around his house and would stockpile fast food like he's going out of style. He would produce mukbang videos on a frequent basis, which in the end resulted that he would reach his final form. This has prompted concern from a part of his community as well as the YouTube community in general, with many saying that he is eating himself to death and that he needs to receive some help. Because of this, he has many health issues, which isn't any wonder. But according to Nick, it's just water weight, so don't worry.
If it wasn't water weight, could I do this?
One thing also we need to mention about Nick is that he has poor hygiene, because he doesn't like to brush his teeth or take a shower. In a deleted video, he recorded waking up and surprising Orlin to then sing Potatoes, Chicken and Sandwich while there was a leak in his bed. He said it's a common thing that people do who eat spicy food challenges. He's also releasing videos on a daily basis, so you can only guess how many times this happened until this point.
Just stop.
Now every normal person will probably stop with the spicy foods and the mukbangs, but again the green river of money would probably dry out, and that's a big problem. But the problem was also that Nick would not only himself but also the others around him. So would you believe me that Nikocado had a few controversies over the years? And a lot of people despise him for his unnecessary disgusting videos where Nick and his ex-husband abuse each other physically and verbally. Besides all the attention he received, he still isn't satisfied and loves to start a drama here and there. For example, Nikocado Avocado faced allegations of harassment and invasion of privacy from a mukbanger, Stephanie So. Following their collaboration as Spicy Noodle Challenge, she claimed to feel unsafe during the collaboration and accused Nikocado of sending harassment texts and taking photos inside her home. These allegations led to a public dispute between them, with both parties producing videos and evidence to support their claims. This controversy sparked significant response from his viewers. Because of this, he lost 10,000 subscribers in one single day, and his video began receiving a higher ratio of dislikes to likes. Many people think he has some mental problems because of this, but I let you to be the judge because I'm definitely not qualified to judge somebody like this. Also, something that is quite completely wrong on so many levels is how Nikocado would use his status as a disabled person to his advantage. How? Well, by uploading multiple videos with offensive thumbnails and titles such as "My new diet as a disabled person" and profiting off an image of disability, which is just wrong, I think.
It's different, okay? I'm actually a person strategizing what I do.
Also, if you didn't have enough of Nikocado, you can always check his OnlyFans page. And if you know about more people like this that should be on the list, tell me in the comment sections. Like the last time, I will probably make another layer with all your wishes at the end of this series. And also, don't forget to comment, tell me your thoughts about the people we covered today. If you enjoyed this video, you can smash that like button, subscribe to see more videos like this, also check out my channel for more iceberg charts. That's all from me now, I've been 𝙀𝙭𝙧𝙧𝙦, and until the next deep dive, stay safe.